Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you how to tell which terminal is positive and which terminal is negative on basic electrolytic capacitors. I've got a few different types of electrolytic capacitors along here. As you can see, different varieties. Some have 2 pins, some have 4 pins, some have these little wires that stick out like this, and some have proper little terminals on here. So basically the rule of thumb is that the negative side will be on the side that has this line here. So normally on an electrolytic capacitor there will be like text somewhere on here, and then there'll be just sort of a blank space of the wrapping, and then there'll be this line here. So the line indicates the negative terminal. This is a pretty glued up, horrible looking capacitor, but this terminal right here, this one right here next to the line, is the negative terminal. Same goes for this one here. You can tell, sometimes they have it marked on the actual electrode, but most of the time they don't. So again, we're going to follow the line, and this terminal here, this one that I'm touching, is the negative terminal. Same for this one, same for this one, same for this one. In this case, we've got a capacitor that has 4 different terminals, and luckily for us, it is marked, and also the text is often on the negative side. So if there's just an empty thing and there's no line on the capacitor, then usually the text will indicate which terminal is negative, and in this case that is the case. So we have, this is the negative terminal, and then there's 3 positive terminals, and we also, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a little negative symbol on the negative terminal, which sometimes happens with slightly bigger capacitors, but that's not always going to be the case. Next over here we have a capacitor that doesn't have a line, and I believe that the text is not on the negative side. Usually when there's no line and the text isn't on the correct side to indicate which is negative, there will actually be a tiny, especially on bigger capacitors, I don't know if you can see it, but right in on there the lighting's pretty bad. About there, just under my finger, there is, I don't know if you can see it, you can just see it, there's a tiny little plus icon which indicates that this terminal here is the positive, and that means this one is the negative. Again, we can apply the same rule onto this capacitor. This is the negative one, it's got the line going up and down. Negative, 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 you get the idea. You basically just follow the line, and whichever side the line is on with the little negative symbol is the negative side. If not, there should be a little tiny indentation somewhere around the top of the capacitor which indicates which terminal is positive or negative, and that's how you tell which terminal of an electrolytic capacitor is positive and which terminal is negative. Thank you for watching, and have an excellent day or night. Goodbye.